What's up, YouTube? So I just want to do a quick walk around about my car. Just talk about a few things that it's got done to it. So I've had a couple buddies ask me like what it's got done to it, how much things kind of cost, and just since these things are getting affordable nowadays, a lot of younger guys, people with less money are starting to get into them and want to modify them and see how it is. So this car is bolt-ons and a cam, basically, with a little bit of a tire in the back. Starting the engine bay because that's where everybody likes. So these cars, this is an 03 car. I believe 01 and up come with an Ls6 intake. So the Ls6 intake, and then I think all of them are 78mm throttle bodies. I think all cars are like that. I've got some plug wires that I did whenever we did the headers. These are Texas Speed 1 3/4 stainless headers. They go into a 3-inch collector. And then I've got their X pipe as well with no cats, and then that flows into an SLP loudmouth exhaust. And this exhaust is kind of dark down there, you probably can't see, but anyway. So this exhaust has no mufflers pretty much at all. It's completely straight pipe. It's ridiculously loud. I don't suggest it if it's your daily driver. I don't recommend it. A Corsa would probably be good if you like loud cars but don't want drone. Corsa Extreme is a great exhaust, sounds awesome. And then we got the K&N cold air intake. It's way better than the stock one, the stock airbox. You can do an airbox mod where you take the air lid off, basically off the top of it, or you can trim it to allow more flow into it. I did that when I first got the car, and it actually made a little bit of a difference. I read on the forums that it picks up like 10 or 15 horsepower. So I mean, you kind of felt it. It felt a little bit stronger in the mid-range when it was really trying to breathe and pick up some steam. So yeah, it's got a cam. It's got a Texas Speed. It's a 228R cam. It's on a 110 LSA. That's a lobe separation angle. So you got a lot of valve overlap. It acts like a bigger cam. It's not that huge of a cam. It's pretty aggressive though. Texas Speed bases that cam, I think, off of the Comp XER lobe, which is pretty aggressive lobe. So it's a good cam. I would suggest a little bit wider of a lobe separation angle if you plan on, just cruising it around. But this car is a lot of fun. It rips for what it is. And then we got the wheels. I got the Y2K replica wheels from oewheels.com. They're pretty cheap. I'm gonna get a set of Ford Stars or maybe if I ever decide to waste my money. I wouldn't say waste, but spend a lot of money on a set of CCW's drag pack. That would be really cool, but I don't have the money for that right now. So yeah, these are the wheels. They're kind of heavy. The stock wheels are all right. They're not that heavy, but they're kind of ugly in my opinion. So these are the back wheels. They're 10.5, 18 by 10.5 in the back, and they're 18 by 9.5 in the front. So I think these have an 1.5 inch lip on them. They're pretty dirty. I'm in New Jersey and it's been dusty and rainy. So the tire in the back. This is a Toyo Proxy TQ or top qualifier. It's a drag radial. It's a 315/35. Yeah, 315/35/18. So it's like, I think it's 13.7 inches wide. It's a pretty wide tire. You can see right here where it kicks a lot of dirt and stuff up because it has a little bit of a poke where it pokes out. You can see it pokes out from the fender a little bit. Not bad, but just enough to fling some stuff up on the back. I want to get some of the flaps. You can modify them from I believe a C7 or a C6. You can modify them and put them on here, and that'll kind of negate that issue. And then this back here, this part back here, a lot of people either paint these black or wrap them black. I actually plasti dipped this on my own. I just taped everything off really well and covered up the exhaust and everything, and I plasti dipped it on my own, and it came out okay. I want to eventually have it wrapped professionally. And then I did the tail lights Taillights are dirty. Anyway, I did the taillights. Basically, I wet sanded them and made them real smooth, and then I washed them and cleaned them really good, and then hit them with some nightshade. I think 3 coats of nightshade, and then and some clear over it. That's all I did. I left the center light red because I was afraid that the cops were going to bother me about it, so I made sure that at least, you know, if they said that the others were too dim, which they're not very dim, that one was, at least, you know, you could see it. And I also did the reverse lights down there by the license plate, sorry. And then I don't have any window tint yet. I definitely want to do some window tint. I've seen a lot of cars where they have this part, I don't know what you want to call it, but this part wrapped or painted black, and then the windows tinted to kind of match the roof and everything. It looks really cool, kind of gives it like a cockpit style look. And that's one thing about the Corvettes that I've always kind of admired the shape of, and everything is the top portion, the way it's shaped. So, yeah, I mean, it's a pretty simple car. Oh, I've got a Lingenfelter 160 degree thermostat in it. And the funny thing is I did it because when I first got the car, it was running kind of hot. I would see temperatures like 210, 220, and I was like, man, that's hot. You know, sitting in traffic, I mean, it shouldn't get that hot. So I went ahead and got the thermostat, and come to find out, we pulled the motor to do the cam, and you know, we did valve springs and everything with it. But when we pulled the motor to do the cam, we found that the AC condenser and the radiator was just plugged up with debris and sand and all kinds of stuff. And that's one thing that I forgot about, where the front of these cars, I'll try and show you, I doubt you can see it, but on the front of these cars you have a scoop on the bottom of it. Yeah, you can't see it, but there's a scoop under here that directs airflow. You see this plastic covering piece. It directs airflow onto the radiator, which is behind here in the AC condenser. Well, you know, it's right on the ground, and it's picking up all kinds of nasty stuff off the road, and over time it gets all clogged up. So I actually was seeing higher temperatures because of that. So we went ahead and did the thermostat. We cleaned that out, blew it out with an air gun, got it real cleaned up, put some new fluid in it, or put some new, you know, some coolant and everything in the car, and now it runs super cool. I mean, I'll beat the crap out of it, and I mean, it stays like 180. I think usually it runs like 187 or 185 degrees. So yeah, and then the interior is completely stock. I've got a modified C6Z06 shifter in it. It's a modified C6Z06 shifter. I love it. It's great for daily driving. It's got a really good feel to it. It's not super duper notchy, but it's got a great positive feel to it. I can't remember the company that I got it off the top of my head. I'll try and remember that, and I'll put it in the description. But it's got a Hurst ball shifter on the top, and it's a C6Z06 complete. It's the shifter box and everything. It's all the way under here. Let's see it. Put it out. You can't see in there. I need a better light. So there's a shifter box on the bottom that it's all connected to, and you have the linkage that goes back to the transmission in the rear. The whole box is C6Z06, and then what they did is shorten the shaft, made it shorter to reduce the throw. I'll put it in here, put the key in. So, and then the other thing I did, I love this shifter, man. I do want a kind of a different shifter, maybe a pistol grip style, but they don't make a whole lot of stuff as far as good shifters go. A lot of them are real gaudy, and I don't like the old people style stuff. No offense to any older fellas that own these things, but the other thing is I've got a clutch. I put a clutch in it. I was worried that the stock clutch wouldn't hold the power, and I just wanted room to grow, to make sure that, you know, in the future, if I, you know, eventually I'm going to put a supercharger on this thing, but in the future, I want to make sure, God, stop dinging. I want to make sure that it can hold the power, so I put a McLeod RXT twin disc clutch in the car. It's a lot of clutch for the car, to be honest with you. I mean, it'll probably handle this power forever, but it's still got a great feel. I think it can handle 800 wheel horsepower, but it's got great feel. It's not bad. It's not super grabby. I know some of the monster clutches are really grabby and really tough to manage. You have to adjust them really well and get it set up for you. But this one is great. I love this clutch. So I would recommend that clutch to anybody if they ever decide they want to upgrade their clutch. Another thing with these cars is the head unit is atrocious. And what's funny, that it confused me when I first got it, is there's a place on here it says aux, you know, like an aux cord right here. And I was confused, like, why the hell does it say auxiliary when there's no aux port here? We'll come to find out, it's on the back. It's on the back of this. So a lot of people, they modify these things and put a little aux port in the front. I'd like to do that, just keep it with the stock look, and then put an auxiliary thing in the front. But yeah, that is my car. So I'll do one more walk around. Overall great car though. I've got other videos of it running and doing walk arounds and stuff, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about what the setup was. Oh, the Ls6 intake, we ported that, so it's a ported Ls6 intake. It's still got the stock 241 heads on it, and eventually I'd like to, I think that's probably going to be the next thing before I do the supercharger, just because it's so affordable to do the heads on these things. Oh, I've got a 2-step launch controller set up from MSD. I don't have it completely wired up yet. I still have to do the wire, the signal from the clutch pedal, so that it'll engage the 2-step whenever you push in the clutch. So, but yeah, it's a 2-step launch controller. Eventually, I'll probably hook that up here soon. I'll post a video of that. And then let's see. I think that's it. Oh, one thing that people want to do, it's real big with these cars, is these cars like to get a lot of debris in the master cylinder, from clutch debris and just grime in there, and it'll screw it all up. So what people do, because it's such a pain in the ass to bleed the clutch in these things, is you do, let's see if I can pull it out. You got the speed bleeder. So this goes down there, and makes it much easier to bleed the clutch instead of having to put the car up, and it's really hard to reach, and much easier to have this speed bleeder. It's only like 80 bucks, I think, from Texas Speed is where I ordered it. I ordered a lot of stuff from Texas Speed, and those guys they've had the best prices that I've found, and they're just really helpful dudes. The customer service is great, and yeah, I definitely recommend those guys if you want to go and get some parts for these things. They're pretty good, and they know a lot about about the stuff. So if you want to ask them questions on the setup, they're happy to help you out. But yeah, that is for sure all of it, all the stuff that's done in my car. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. You can like the video if you want. But I plan on doing more videos, probably better ones when I get a better camera. So yeah, thanks for watching.